Okay, this is kind of a lo-fi intro for a fucking hi-fi podcast. Jessica and Sarah rule. Their podcast, You Can't Get to Heaven in a Miniskirt, fucking rules. You need to go download every episode right now. It's the most fun I've had since COVID. Really. I was even super nervous to talk to them, but I didn't need to be. I was just being dumb, homeschooler, because they're the nicest people ever. I absolutely adored this, and I think all of you should go listen to their podcast all day. Okay, light a candle, get a bubble bath going. Maybe hit up your old youth pastor on Facebook. See what happens.
All right. Yeah, so I sound super raspy just because I hadn't smoked a joint in so long, and we were at this cabin and they had a cute little path in the woods, and they had a free little doobie station. It was one of those off-grid places. We were like, oh, this is awesome. But I should know to just stick to gummies and weed drinks because I can't do it very well.
Yeah. Oh, you like
it's legal where you are, right?
Yeah.
For how long?
For a minute, for a hot minute.
For a minute.
Yeah.
Ours is a 6-year minute.
Where do you live?
I live in Canada. So Eastern Canada, about an hour from Maine.
Okay. Yeah. What spot?
New Brunswick.
Okay. Yeah. We toured a lot up there. So.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Played a lot in Canada.
Whereabouts was your
whereabouts?
Whereabouts?
Lot Toronto. We were always in Toronto. What's the most beautiful?
Montreal, Quebec City.
Montreal, one of my favorite places.
Montreal.
Yeah, it's so pretty up there.
Yeah, it's really nice. And so I'm 7 hours from Montreal. About that. Okay,
yeah, but there's no legal weed.
Oh no, there is legal weed. Weed has been legal for Jessica's FaceTiming me right now.
I'm trying to get this to work. Yeah, it's back up.
Weed has been legal in Canada, so just forwarded that to her since 2017.
Okay.
It was Justin Trudeau's big promise to everyone. He was like, if I get elected, then weed's going to be legal for everyone.
Oh, man.
Yeah. How about you? How about California? That's where you're at?
Yeah, actually, I'm up in Washington right now.
In Washington. Nice.
Yeah, it's a long story, but I have a house up here too. So
okay, cool.
So Washington's kind of where I'm from, and it became legal 12 years ago, maybe 10 years
That's
ago.
Crazy.
It was.
Yeah, because you guys, it's national, not a provincial, right? Oh, Jessica's calling in. Hello.
I got your email, but it just says.
Did I just forward you the wrong email? Sorry, the gummies are kicking in. I'm just I'm
so excited. And then link right.
Oh, just okay. I've forwarded you the wrong email. Leaf, you're in good company. It's all good.
Yay.
Oh my God, what is wrong with me? I don't need to reply. Forward. Here we go. It's fucking 2023. Here we go.
Okay, I'm gonna stay on and make sure it works.
That's a good idea.
Just send it to you.
Look what I have.
What do you have? Oh my God, the mug. Yes.
We'll talk about it.
I said, we'll talk about the mug. We'll explain it to Leaf.
I'm excited.
I don't care. All right. So I got an email and there is a link.
Yes, there's a link. Okay, she'll be on.
With our righteousness combined.
That part's my fault. I sent her the wrong email.
Well, apparently
it's the email where too. I'm so excited. She's just what the fuck?
What excited about what?
Yeah. She's there. It's Jessica.
Yay!
Yay! It's you two.
Oh my gosh, hi.
Hello. This is exciting for me because I've been listening to you guys' voices a lot lately.
Really?
I've never seen your faces. Oh yeah, I love your podcast, man.
You do?
I love it. Yeah,
Thank
it's fucking
you.
rad. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think
Thank
we're
you.
still at the point where we're surprised when like it's not someone we know. We're like,
When, like, literally,
you listen?
when is anyone but my own mom listening to it, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I really like it. And I'm excited to ask you guys a bunch of questions because it seems like your guys' experiences with religion very similar or at least reminiscent.
I want to know about yours too, so we'll have to ask you questions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Maybe I'll come on your guys's and you guys can ask me a bunch of questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be cool.
I grew up weird, man. Like,
oh, how weird.
Yeah. What did you grow up doing?
So I grew up in an SBC church, like a Southern Baptist. But it wasn't just Southern Baptist. It was like I used to tell everyone my flat earth parents homeschooled me to keep me from the globalist agenda.
Is that actually?
That's not true.
Yeah, it's sad.
Sarah's so high. She's like, what?
Yeah, I can smoke a joint now too. Yeah, so I was homeschooled in the woods and had to teach myself to read by reading the Bible and
what?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's why I'm so socially awkward because like I used to have
You
to
grew
ask
up in
the
the
neighbor
fucking
dog.
woods.
It's why you're reading the Book of Enoch right now because you're just like, I'm a rebel. I'm gonna read the Apocrypha. That's
first
not the
time.
Lord's book.
Yeah, it does. You catch a lot of flack at the Wednesday service if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. And,
I didn't even know about the Book of Enoch until we did an episode on the Nephilim, and I was like,
just
what
listened
the fuck
to
is
it.
this shit?
Yeah.
Is that funny? Yeah.
We went deep into TikTok on that day. And
Yeah.
it was fucking
And
weird.
it's weird that that's in the Bible. Most people don't know that that's in the Bible.
What is the Apocrypha? What is that?
Any book that's not
You're a bad
canonized.
Catholic. Because the Catholic Bible has books that the Protestants would consider to be part of the Apocrypha, right?
I don't
Like
know much
first
about
and second,
Catholics.
first and second Maccabees, and you guys you have a different Bible, Jessica. I went to your church. I don't know why I went once with you, and I looked and I was like, "That's a fucking different Bible."
See,
They didn't have Bibles there. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they did.
They had like the hymn
You have a
books.
Bible and then you have a hymn book. Yeah.
You don't. Sarah's lying. No,
Oh fuck, baby! I'm just melding together experiences.
Maybe we went to a different Catholic church. But the thing is, my God, when's the last time I went to church? It was pre-COVID. I did go.
And who has a better memory?
You.
Oh shit.
Sarah has a really good memory, and I have a very bad memory. I smoked too much weed, although she did too. So I don't know.
That's why it works then. That's
We've
why you
been
guys have
we've been
synergy.
friends since like 2002.
Were you guys roommates? Is that?
We were middle school friends, roommates in university. Yeah.
Yeah, so we were roommates for 1 year in university, but like the whole time I was like staying at a boyfriend's house, which might have like it kind of I regret it, but I look back and I'm like, maybe we wouldn't have been friends if we had been together so often though. You know,
You would have
like
left more
sometimes-
cantaloupe on the counter.
Oh
There'd
yeah,
be
it was
all
really
the fucking
messy.
little fruit flies. Sorry.
Can you tell Sarah's harboring some resentment?
No, I was bad. I had someone else you just like walked into the apartment to get ready in the morning and there was like someone with your pajamas on. You're like, why the fuck does your friend have my pajamas on?
Yeah, that was fucking
my
weird.
God.
She went into my dirty clothes basket and wore my pajamas.
Oh shit.
That was a weird time.
What
Yeah.
university was it?
What
Where'd
type
you
of
guys go to
university?
school?
We usually don't talk about exactly where we're from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it
But
a
that's
Christian
just-
university? Could I ask?
No, just a regular
Like-
Canadian university.
So we're Canadian,
Okay.
and like each province kind of has its own university, like the University of Manitoba, University of British Columbia, whatever. So
Yeah.
we went to our province's university. You know, it's pretty good. Yeah.
That's rad.
So I got a business degree. Totally.
And I got-
totally.
Psychology
What'd you
and
do?
science degree.
Oh,
Or
okay.
psychology and philosophy.
Oh, wow. That's badass.
It was
This
fun.
I know.
This
Sarah's
joint
so
is-
much cooler.
Yeah. This joint is making me look so ominous right now. I didn't.
Look at that. all the
does.
Yeah.
smoke.
Thank you.
Yeah, where did you go to college as you
I
Americans
have
call it?
never been to any form of school.
Oh. Other than
Like not
homeschool.
even. So you were homeschooled the whole time, and that was it.
Yeah, it's actually really fucking weird. Check this. So I've never even done a math problem.
How do you get your do you have your GED?
I have nothing. No.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, I've just
That's so fascinating.
isn't it weird? I know, and I'm 40. It's weird. It's like, yeah. No, the bands kind of just worked out.
Oh yeah. Okay,
so what bands did you play in?
What's the story there?
Oh yeah, you guys are interviewing me, and I'm trying to interview you.
I'm sorry,
This is fun. No, it's great. You're making me feel special.
I listened to a couple episodes, and you guys talk about music stuff, but I'm like, okay, I need to know like origins here.
Oh yeah. That's actually the funny part. My co-host Reddy, he was always like an elder rock star in Seattle to me. He played in all these bands that got signed to major labels. Wow. So back then, in the late '90s, early 2000s, if you got signed to a major, you got a bunch of money. And so it was like always the coveted, like everyone in the band was like, oh, we got to get signed, you know? And he played for this guy, Duff McKagan. He's the bass player from Guns N' Roses.
Oh, yeah. I was just listening to one of your episodes where you guys were talking about Guns N' Roses forever.
Oh, yeah. And I played in other bands. Like I played in a rock band called Vendetta Red at the time. And we toured a lot. We were on Epic Records, and so I'd be hanging around Duff and all these, you know, whatever rock stars were in the room. But I was like fresh from the woods. Like
that's so that is interesting. Like
I didn't even know you could touch boobs at the beginning of the. So everyone's, it was weird. It was a weird time. So I in my spot in the band van, I had a Strong's Thesaurus, a Greek New Testament, and like a bunch of Bible books. So my
God.
Whenever we would be in like a green room, Reddy and I wouldn't. Well, he'd inevitably be wondering why I wouldn't be like partaking in any of the spoils of Babylon, if you will. Yeah. And so I would just start evangelizing. So like, I was like, a 25-year-old virgin playing rock bands, had like really long blonde hair, like saving myself. And it was very vocal about it. I was saving my virginity for my marriage. So,
oh my God.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. I really believed. I was like,
I also really believed as well.
I could tell from the podcast. Did you work in England?
Yeah, I worked in the UK for a year. Like I did it's kind of like Youth with a Mission, except it was like my obscure little denominations version of it. And we would just go, they were based out of the UK, and we would go there and do like
mission work,
you know, theology and working in a church and some missions work.
Yeah. Theology and missions work though.
Yeah, it was interesting. And the pastor that I worked under, he's kind of blown up. I don't know if you've heard of Andrew Wilson. He's in the UK. He's really big. Like he has a bunch of articles in Christianity Today, and he debates Rob Bell about gay marriage. He's not on the
Rob Bell's not into gay marriage.
No, Rob Bell's cool with it. Rob Bell's always been cool.
Okay, yeah, he's the guy. Yeah, he's like, there's no hell, right?
Love Wins. Do you remember that book?
Yeah, Love Wins.
Yeah, that wrecked them in like the late 2000s Christianity. Yeah,
I was more of a I Kiss Dating Goodbye type of guy.
Oh. We just recorded the second part to that. We did.
Really?
Yeah, we had to reread. Ugh.
We recorded the courtship book, and I have never read any of them ever. So
I had.
So Sarah had to go down memory lane and relive painful memories where I was like, this book's fucking trash, but like I don't have memories of it. Thank God.
I had to go into my Facebook vault messages where I was talking about that book with my friends. Like it was an actual have you ever, good book.
Like what year did you get Facebook?
Oh
like,
man,
it was...
late, like 2007. Maybe.
I was 2006.
So that's like normal, I think. And then you can look through all of your old like Facebook chat messages from the beginning of time.
Don't.
Oh no.
I wouldn't recommend it. Every time I do, I feel so much pain.
Yeah. We just send each other screenshots and we're like, why? Except all of our conversations are like, I'm hungover. Want to go get stoned?
That just
Yeah.
sounds rad.
When
I
I
don't
was
know.
younger.
That's
Our-
nothing to be embarrassed about. You guys should post.
No,
Oh,
our
that's not the
conversations
embarrassing.
together. Our conversations together were fantastic, but it's our
Okay.
conversations with other people that were not.
Are you like asking
Yeah.
other people if they have a courtship candle? Are you like, hey, you guys want to get together and do Bible study?
Well, I'm
Some
sure
messages
Sarah
like
did.
that?
I have a lot of like.
I called the Holy Spirit a cool guy, unironically. I'm like, I've been getting to. I was raised Baptist, and then when I was in high school, got brought by a couple friends into a charismatic church,
Oh,
and I got
okay. Speaking in
baptized in the
tongues?
Holy Spirit. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I thought everyone should get baptized in the Holy Spirit. So you could see me like going back and like evangelizing to my like Baptist friends and being like, have you ever heard of baptism in the Spirit? And even- the Holy Spirit's a cool guy. I've been
you will
getting to
feel
know him a lot
power.
lately. I can't.
Sarah's
So it's
hilarious.
bad. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't go
I made
back.
I made Sarah a mug. You show him your mug. Do you have it?
Oh, do you want me to get it?
You don't have your mug?
Oh no.
I
Oh
was.
no. Did you
It's
see her eyes?
I'm stoned. I wasn't drinking this episode.
I just assume it was. Oh yeah, she usually puts her wine in it.
I usually
It's
just have a cup
okay.
of
I got her a
wine.
mug that says the Holy Spirit's a cool guy. I've been getting to know him lately. So if we ever have merch, we're gonna get some merch that
Yeah.
says that.
And you're
then
drinking
Sarah
from your
got
mug.
and Sarah got me a mug,
What is the mug?
and it just has Sean McDowell's face on it. Do you know who Sean McDowell is?
I do not. I do
Oh,
not.
that's really unfortunate. You should look him up.
Could
So
you tell me?
he's like a youth leader.
He's an apologist. He's a professor at Biola University.
Okay.
He
Just has a lot of takes, but like he's not that
Yeah.
bad. Like he's not
He has a
very
lot of a
controversial.
lot of hot takes.
a lot of hot takes.
no,
but
Like good
he
ones?
likes like being edgy and cool. Like he'll be like, I interviewed a lesbian atheist, and this is why she's not a Christian. Like he tries to like.
but he wrote the True Love Waits book, which is like the purity movement. And
I
so if
hate
you're
him
like,
already then.
so he's
he wrote
cool,
the
but he's
book.
also garbage.
Okay.
And he's like, trans people deserve our love, but they shouldn't be trans. And so,
Oh,
you
man.
know.
Yeah, it's the purity culture really fucked up my life.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Let's say, well, you should probably have sex with the person that you're gonna have sex with for the rest of your life, just to make sure you like having sex with them.
Don't even fucking get me started, man.
I didn't know that. Was
I
the
don't think
thing.
we should just test out a car. I think we should buy it. That's also horrible advice. Did you hear people use that analogy when you were growing up? They're like, oh, they think that you have to test out the car first. And it's like, you should test out the car.
Your love is like a flower. Your love is like a flower, and every time you give away a petal to another person,
And no one wants a stem, Jimmy.
no one wants a stem. No one wants a stem, Jessica. It's so gross.
I remember the analogy of like if you're chewing a piece of gum and then like someone's chewing, you're the piece of gum.
It's
and
like
someone
once you've
chews
been
you,
chewed,
so like
no one else will want to chew you.
yeah,
Like
I
a
gotta
used
say
up piece of gum.
That's been the opposite experience for me.
You're like, the more I chew, the better I'm at chewing. It's weird.
So weird.
I just got way better at it. This is strange.
I know.
Oh yeah, like so I entered Christianity. Sarah got me into it. So Sarah, this is all Sarah's fault. Okay,
Yeah.
blame her.
I invited
very
her to youth
convincing. I
group.
can tell.
Oh, one sec. My microphone got all fucked up.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I invited Jessica to youth group,
Okay.
as one does, and then
And youth group was so fun. I know you like grew up in the woods, but like
yeah.
Oh yeah,
youth
no,
group was like sick.
yeah. We had a small youth group. I went to a small church, but
Okay.
it is. Why? How
Yeah.
can
Fucking
Uno be that
amazing.
fun? You know,
I know. I remember
so
we went
weird.
like bowling, and we would go to like hockey games, like our local hockey team.
And we would do like kick the can in the dark.
yes.
And like all the games, and it would be like, we're doing like dark games night, and you turn off all the lights, and you'd have to like
oh,
you'd play
like
sardines
capture the
and-
flag and shit.
Yeah.
Remember when, like capture sardines?
Sardines
I
is
forgot about
great.
sardines.
Sardines.
like sticky hide and go seek.
And sardines was crazy
fucking
because you gotta like cuddle with the person if you have
Yeah,
to.
yeah, and that's
But that's where you'd hear the rumors. You'd be like,
oh yeah,
Johnny and Kate made out in the closet.
Oh, they
were playing sardines.
She touched his wee.
I gotta say, we were not doing that. We were so pure.
Excuse me, you were.
Oh my God, not even. I didn't play sardines.
You called me over to your basement.
Okay, no. This isn't playing sardines though. I'm talking about like in the actual church.
Okay, not playing sardines.
Youth group. Okay.
Just couldn't touch a wee, not playing sardines.
You guys were worried about righteousness. You're like, that's too much temptation. Okay.
Oh my God.
Also,
no, we were playing sardines. No.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Sarah, tell the story. We told. Okay, so we had an episode on masturbation, and it was horrifying because Sarah had all these horrible stories.
Horrible, yeah.
About me that we were anyway. So this is one of them. My mother heard this story, by the way.
But like, yeah, Jessica called me on the phone and was like, "This
How
is
old
probably
were we?
This was we were probably like 15, 16." And she calls me on the phone and she's like, "Sarah, I need you to come over." Like, and she's like, "Can you pray for us?" They had a Bible there too. And
my high school boyfriend.
Her high school boyfriend. She's like, "I touched his penis."
Oh my God.
And like,
you're so sweet.
Yeah.
What a good Christian.
I know. And then I prayed for them and I was like, I think we need to talk to Pastor Mark.
So Sarah just like takes control of the situation and we talk to the youth pastor.
That would be a weird job. I don't want to do that.
Oh man. Oh man.
Awkward.
It's bad. It's so awkward.
Bad.
Did he have like was there like punishment?
Cool.
He was cool.
Mark was cool.
Mark is a good person.
I think he's just like felt bad for us because he's like, it sucks that you're teenagers. That sucks. Like it sucks.
Yeah.
He didn't ever judge, which was cool. We got lucky with him.
A good youth pastor.
Yeah, we've obviously had like run-ins with like fucking weirdos, but like he was actually pretty good. So
yeah, there's a lot of great people that
are. There definitely are.
Yeah. And I kind of like the idea of like getting together once a week and like aiming at good. Like everyone in the building is like thinking good thoughts, trying to like do kindness. I love that. I miss it. But
we've talked about this before. Like you can't really reproduce the same sense of like multi-generational community outside of the church, or it hasn't been reproduced widely.
It hasn't stuck. Yeah. Maybe drugs. I'm hoping. Psychedelics
will help with that.
Yeah, I think,
I guess
if we get drugs back in church,
let's start the petition.
I think we're doing it right now. That's why I wanted to have you guys on, because I feel a kindred like spirit between you guys as you talk about your experiences.
We're very self-degrading.
Yeah.
Well, also intelligent and also like it's a fun dynamic because I took it seriously too, you know. And so it was always weird for me, especially later in life, to find out that like I'd bump into Christians and realize that they haven't even read the Bible, like, you know, Genesis to Revelation, and it was just,
I never did. So
I was in my head
thinking,
pointing to you.
Yeah, pointing to because I was like a later Christian, like not until we were like 13, 14, and then I didn't want to do it.
You didn't want.
So
yeah. Did you?
I just followed the rules.
Attempt?
I didn't. I attempted.
No,
I opened
you
it to
definitely
Genesis
read
1.
your Bible some, Jess.
Oh, okay. I'm like I never read it. I just didn't read it cover to cover.
Yeah,
like
You tried to have like a daily devotional, a quiet time.
Yeah, I had a picture or a piece of loose leaf on my bedroom wall when I was a child, and it just said "pray" on it because I had to remind myself to pray.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
That's so fun.
Leaf, the question is though, did you have a list of people you prayed for them to get saved?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And man, it's actually weird to like doing this podcast for this last year has been like you said, going through your old Facebook messages of some sort. You know, it's like I would pray like 2 hours a night. On my knees, like sometimes on the floor because I wasn't righteous enough, you know, like face down on the floor. If God's getting close, I'm so sinful, he can't, you know, like, like so.
I I've done the face down on the floor before.
Yeah, and
What?
Well, we grew up Baptist.
Face down on the floor?
You're
Why?
humbling yourself before the Lord.
Yeah, all of your righteousness is like a menstrual cloth to God. So, you know, there's a lot of self-guilt that they throw in you. It's Sunday school.
Oh,
you
man.
you must know the Bible super well then.
Yeah, I love you. I fucking love you. It's bad. It's bad. I don't think you should read the Bible very much.
Why?
It's a very complicated book. Or, excuse me, collection of 66 books, right? It's like, there's like...
Depending on if you're Catholic or Protestant.
Yeah, and that's...
or Eastern Orthodox.
That's a whole... We could go on that tangent, because that is what actually excites me, is textual criticism.
I couldn't think of anything more boring.
Isn't that weird? Yeah, it's so hard to get people
you and
on the
Sarah
podcast.
would be like...
I love textual criticism.
Yeah, you and Sarah.
Have you read the book?
You'll have your own episode, just you two someday, because like I'm not.
we could kill so many boners with Jesus talk, like Bible talk. I bet.
Oh yeah.
It never.
If it was a competition.
It never. It's like. Have you seen What We Do in the Shadows?
Yes.
Have you seen The Energy Vampire?
Yes.
That's what I
fucking love it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys would suck. Yeah.
The life out of any party.
Oh yeah, talk to me about anything that's like biblical. What did you call it?
Textual criticism.
Textual criticism.
It's really fun because the
you
Bible's...
and your Greek Bible, your Greek New Testament. I love. You always think you're so smart if you're like the original Greek is.
Yeah. And it's funny because I've never even like taken an English class, right? So I don't even know where a comma goes.
You must have done some sort of curriculum.
I got a job when I was, my life's pretty weird. So my family were just these hardworking Norwegian-ish farmers, basically. And they're really fun. They're just kind of like a little too intense. And have you ever seen that movie Fight Club?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's like the house I grew up in. Like there was no heat.
No!
Wow.
Oh my God.
It like rained inside. So I thought God was preparing me to be a missionary in Antarctica, which is hilarious. But essentially that's how isolated I was. So it's like, it was my first class of the day, which was the only class I did, was Bible. So I'd read the Bible for an hour a morning. Do you guys know Awana? Have you ever heard of So I was the Washington State Awana champion. I memorized 4 full books of the Bible when I was 14. That's
Which
actually
books
how I
were
taught.
they? Which books?
Oh, the small ones, like 1st, 2nd John, and then like I think one of the Paul's epistles. That like
me.
tiny ones.
I memorized a verse. Jesus wept.
Yeah, you got it. It was a lot of books. It was a lot to recite to someone.
They should like depend on which book it is. It can't be like all considered.
It is weird, and because
like Deuteronomy or Leviticus, if you're like, I memorized the first 4 books of the Bible, I'd be like, that's real fucking impressive.
Yeah, especially when you get into those genealogies.
Yeah,
that's just the begots will fucking kill you.
Yeah, it's the whole history of the entire earth.
Right. It's crazy, right? And if you put it all together, it's only 6,000 years old. Do you guys know this? It's so interesting.
Yes. Yeah, we actually learned this from Ken Ham.
From this, I've loved, because like I was dying listening to that. And I think it was yesterday. I was listening to the science one.
The evolution one.
Creation
I was
evolution.
so mad.
It's so frustrating.
Yes.
I cut a part out where we watched him debate Bill Nye. I didn't put it in the podcast because it was just too long, too many videos. And it was so fucking infuriating.
I know.
He's such an idiot.
Yes,
he
is.
I can't. I can understand a lot of like the evolutionary theories we went through. I can understand quite a few of them, but I can't get on board with young Earth. I have no empathy there. There's nothing.
They're not on the same planet.
No,
we've said this.
No.
It's really hard too when you're indoctrinated into this because, for instance, I've never seen a science book, right? I mean, I have now because I read all the time and because education was kept from me, I'm obsessed with learning. And so I constantly just try. But like back then, you're a 17-year-old who has been told this for your entire life. You're at Starbucks having coffee with a non-Christian. You're trying to convince them they need Jesus. And so you're bringing up the best facts, about the earth being young and whatnot. And it's like, I have a buddy, Adam, who has a podcast called Hi Friends. And he was equating it to, it's like you played Mike Tyson's Punch-Out conversationally your entire life. And then you actually had to get in the ring with Mike Tyson. Like every theory you have just gets shot down so fast.
Oh my
you just
God.
are sitting there like
That's so good.
like nothing connects. There's and you're just like sitting there in your own shit. Like this stinks. It's
Well, because they teach you
worst.
how to go out and evangelize to people and like what to
yeah.
say and challenge them.
Well, that's
with.
what apologetics is for, right?
Oh, I
Yeah,
was super
exactly
into
what
that.
they teach.
I was a missionary. Do you see my Carmen shirt?
Oh wow.
Do you guys know
Where were you a
Carmen?
What is Carmen?
That's a longer story. I was in Russia. I was in Moscow for a while when I was 18.
As a
it was
Christian? Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
It was cool. Well, because I was.
I get it, but like I think I'm so high, and I cannot
Yeah.
imagine like anyone else's like your life was so different than ours. I'm like,
Yeah.
Dude, and to be honest, that's kind of what I took away from it because I just wanted to reach people with the gospel. So, like, even the bands I was in, it was focused, like,
So
it
you
was
would
Christ
reach.
centered.
Yes.
Yeah.
'cause you're
So
like,
you're
I'm going to
like-
use my
you're like-
influence.
like
To-
maybe you weren't a Christian band, but were you guys like Christians in a band?
So
and you're,
actually,
like,
I was
kinda,
in a
like,
bunch of Christian
godly?
bands too that actually did pretty well.
Oh.
So I started in Christian bands, and
Did you?
What
Were you in
bands?
Switchfoot? That's the only Christian band I remember.
I have so many Switchfoot stories. Okay, this is the funny part about it.
Amazing.
Well, they're really nice. They're like super nice guys. And my band, the Christian band, was definitely not as big as them. And so we would play all these festivals. Like, have you heard of Creation Fest or like?
Oh my God.
Jessica went. Jessica went.
Yeah, so we would play those shows.
We drove from Canada to Pennsylvania,
Yeah,
and I went
Did you
to a
see Skillet?
Christian music. Oh, I saw Skillet. They rock
Oh,
so
Skillet's
fucking
the
hard.
Newsboys.
God, I fucking love Skillet. I don't remember the Newsboys. Reliant K, Switchfoot. I met
Reliant
John Foreman.
K.
Switchfoot. We met him.
Yeah,
And what else? Oh, Toby Mac.
Toby
the
Mac.
rapper.
Toby Mac. Yeah.
I have
I
a
saw
really
Casting Crowns.
Oh,
Loves
man.
You have a
casting
weird-
crowns.
You're
Tell me about
you're
Toby Mac.
triggering me because I have all the stories about these people I cannot tell on here. So
Okay,
Did
well,
you
we'll
sign
talk
an
off
NDA?
air.
Yeah, you did.
no, I just don't want to get sued. Yeah,
That's fair
but,
enough.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we'll talk offline someday about this,
Yeah,
I'm
maybe
sure.
right at the end of this to secure our
Yeah.
friendship more because I like you guys too much.
Tell me your secrets.
Yeah, so well, we would play that circuit, and so we would always like we'd play on some smaller stage, but Switchfoot would always headline, right? And like I legitimately looked exactly like John Foreman back then. Like I had
could
the
see it.
blondest hair, and I just like I was like $120, and
I get
so.
it, yeah.
I would be standing just watching them play, like watching Newsboys after Switchfoot played. And I'd be signing autographs, which was like not that out of place, but I'm not really in that big of a band. So it's kind of out of place to me. I feel awkward. I'm just trying to watch the fucking Newsboys, And like, and then I look up and it's like a line of 180 people. Like they're waiting to get, and it's like, so it's the main stage, there's the show, and then there's me with just a line at the back of people, and I'm like, it dawns on me, and I just yell, "I'm not John!" And like, I've never seen that many people more disappointed about it. It's just all like, just everyone's
So
like,
funny.
"Oh," like, it was pretty funny, and
Oh my god.
I don't want to make it
You
about me.
prompted me to dig into my old pictures on my laptop, and I'm just looking at my pictures from Creation Fest
Yeah.
2007. So
Oh yeah, no,
might have
actually,
been there.
I was in a blasphemous band by that point. We were talking about
Oh.
God killing babies, and
yeah.
I got kicked out of my church by 2007. So,
Oh, when did you leave the church then?
about 2007, I guess. Yeah.
Nice.
I stayed there for a long time. I was always the last at youth group to like I was always carrying so many chairs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was
We
always
try to
You want to
impress
stick
all the
around just so you can
chicks.
talk with the pastor a bit.
just yeah.
You're
really,
a chair carrier. Oh, I know the type.
Yeah.
I have some questions about Revelation.
What about it?
No. That's what I would do.
Yeah,
that's what
that
you were-
is me. That was 100%. Yeah, yeah. You're like
You're
what
like,
is
I'm ready. I've
predestination
memorized
really,
Revelation.
though? Yeah, but it's that's kind of the sad thing to me is I have this wonder for God because like music freaks me the fuck out and I don't know how to describe it. And like if you look up at the stars at night, like are you not just blown away? Like what the fuck is this amazing place? And so like to get that robbed over the years because my intentions were so pure, like I just wanted to find the truth, you know.
Yeah.
And you go and
You're a seeker.
yeah, then your geological convenience is really what picks your congregation. I'm sorry, but it's true. What people dress like you in a 20-minute drive from your house, meet on Wednesdays and Sundays. And man, a lot of the people, pastors, throughout my life are fucking awful people. Just horrible people. And
Yeah.
it was
Like
I've had a mix.
we've got lucky with a mix. Did we ever have anyone really bad? Like that.
I
For
mean,
me, not really.
the ones
You
at the
did.
New Frontiers Church, I wouldn't call it. I'd say they had a couple shots of toxic masculinity. They're like,
dude, that is so weird to me.
yeah, kind of like rape culture / toxic masculinity.
And like
What?
the submission headship.
They were really into the
Submission
epistles
headship.
of Paul.
Yeah, submission headship, like just
so
like
gross.
not great.
It's
Yeah.
so gross. And it's also biblical, which is weird.
Yeah.
It's like
I know. It's a wonder that Sarah stayed in for as long as she did. Like her first doubt was to do with like submission headship type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
as soon as she realized that the Bible might say bad shit about women, she was like, hold up. Hold up.
Yeah.
yeah.
Then I
Sarah's
tried
always
to
been a
like
feminist.
justify it for like almost a decade before leaving.
Yeah.
When was this?
2002 was when I was definitely like first starting
Like
to
basically
question.
when we met, and it's not my fault.
And I was yeah. No. For
I just
for
wanna
context,
say-
like, yeah, we're like 32,
Okay.
1990 babies, and so we would have been
Yeah.
12 when we met, and then that's when I started questioning Christianity, I guess.
Man. You had
Or the Bible.
intelligence.
Yeah.
And like I didn't realize until we started doing this podcast, I didn't even realize Sarah was this into it. Like I knew
Yeah.
you were, but when we started living together was when she was really going through her deconstruction journey. And she started the year being Christian and she ended the year being atheist. So
That's
again,
pretty cool.
not my fault. I didn't fucking do anything there.
Yeah.
Are you
One
still
might
an
think I'm not a
atheist?
good influence.
I wouldn't call myself an atheist. I'd say I'm like a weak atheist or like a agnostic. Like I don't think we can know. And I believe that we don't have enough information to know anything right now. And I don't think we ever can. So
Yeah.
there
Have
could
you
be
guys-
something more, but I don't think we can ever say definitively.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about you?
Well, I was so evangelistic that I was kind of like always the guy that had like a vagrant living at his house that would like steal his change, you know. And like I would always like I'm always helping someone move, you know. I don't know why every weekend I'm just helping someone to move.
You're always stacking the chairs after you.
Oh
threw.
yeah. Well, yeah, my therapist says that they taught me that I had to earn God's love. So I was always
The
in all
Protestant
my-
work ethic.
yeah, my relationships, I'm always like, yeah. So, man, I felt so comfortable and awkward just now by being vulnerable that I forgot your question. I got so insecure right there. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, that's okay.
I'm gonna go grab some rolling papers. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Word.
What did I ask though? I'm trying. Or
were
what did we
talking
ask?
Bible, when I left, why I left.
Oh,
was that-
when you left the church.
Yeah,
or-
I left. Well, so it's a long story, but it's kind of fun. So I had like been when you're really sober, and happy all the time and like just trying to stay positive, you can get in lots of bands. Because I'd always show up on time. You know?
Right, that's true.
And yeah, like artists are not really known for being reliable. So it just got me in all of these bands. Well, they all break up. And it's this, for me, who's someone who like spends 17 hours a day playing guitar and just obsessed with music. Like it's like losing your faith or a marriage.
Right.
So like I said, I grew up in this, earlier I said I grew up in this Fight Club like house. And instead of going to school, we built it.
All I have is
Hello.
You built your house. Wow.
Yeah, from the ground up. So my brother and I mixed all the concrete in buckets, and actually it's fucking huge. I should send you pictures because it's like it looks really nice. But so my whole life from 13 to about 28 was spent working pretty much on this house all day. And so there was this time where I lost my band and my mom lost that house. And I realized that even though I saved my virginity for my first marriage, that my first marriage was failing. So it was just like I had been told that if I do this and this and this and this, that God will bless me in these areas. And it's really weird when you're like on tour and you're like we were on MTV back then. And like, so like where, you know, you're touring the world and you have money and like there's girls breaking into your hotel room and you're like running away because you're like, Jesus, you know? And so I'd been under this crazy temptation and like, you know, didn't waver. And so when all this bad shit started happening, I was just like, oh no, fuck no. And it was the first time I started reading shit in the Bible for face value for what it says. And like there's, you know, I'm sure you know, but like God creates certain vessels for honor and dishonor, and you know, to he who has more is given, and to he who has what he has is taken. And there's these, you know, in Matthew.
Well, it's like
5,
that Calvinist shit too, right?
Yes,
like
I hate it.
You're like all of this, like predisposed, like which clay he's gonna make into a pot, and which clay he's gonna like throw in the garbage.
Fuck that, right? And you know, it's like, despite how hard I tried, I was like, oh man, I get burned up. I'm the chaff that gets burned up. I'm the, you know, so, and then that created a really weird long period of atheism for me. And that was bad because I would like, I still.
Were you like an evangelizing atheist?
No, I would just like to fuck with Christians because I know it's weird, but you find out that if someone calls themselves a Christian, there's one thing I know about them. They've never read the Bible. That's it. Like, it's weird. And so you just lead them down a theological debate where they're going to rope tie themselves with scripture, you know, and rip their faith out of their asshole in the bar. It's not very nice. I was very bitter. No. It was a bad time. So
I think when people are hurt and traumatized by something, they become bitter. Like I get that.
And I think if you are any type of fundamentalist, you're going to be traumatized. You know, my life. Have you guys ever seen that movie Kingpin?
No, I've heard of it, but
it's pretty old. So, but it's hard breaking into the real world when you grow up in those circles, especially because when you leave, they kick you out. You get this, you know, excommunicated, and it's like that is actually rough. Hell yeah. Smoke that joint.
I rolled a terrible joint. What? You guys are talking to me? I have two.
I would not be good at rolling joints right now.
It takes a long time to be high and get good at rolling joints.
Yeah. It just wasn't. My vape wasn't doing it for me. So
yeah. I only have one match left.
Needed a little extra help. I'm in my closet too, so my clothes are gonna start.
Yeah. If you want to know where we are, we record the podcast. I'm in a room that has my daughter's piano, my other daughter's Paw Patrol trampoline, a rowing machine, a treadmill, and a stationary bike.
That's amazing. I do you use Audible or do you have a Kindle you put up on those exercises equipments? I will just like read a book holding it or my Kindle. You're an analog? Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
I
Sometimes
actually
she calls
just
me.
bought a Kindle.
They're pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah, they're crazy. You can get books whenever. I'm spending way too much money on books.
I
Yeah,
know,
it's helped
the
me a lot.
worst. It's
The
so
Kindle.
easy to buy books.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Like I'll finish a
Especially
book
this-
and literally just be like, well, I'll buy another book immediately. And I
Yeah,
read
you're
like
like, this looks
$2. Yeah.
I read like specifically fantasy novels.
Oh, which
like,
ones?
So I'm really, really into Brandon Sanderson's Stormlight Archives and Mistborn series. Like I've read every single. What? You haven't read Brandon Sanderson?
I'm not very fun.
Oh well, if you're not into fantasy,
no,
like,
I totally am. Totally
it's
am.
really good.
Yeah,
like
super
it's fucking amazing. Like I read most of his books twice at this point.
Right.
And I only started like this time last year. And like it's not
Wow.
It must be good.
Or no, 2 years ago. Sorry. I was like pregnant and I was like, I need a form of escape because I can't smoke weed. I can't drink, obviously, like you're pregnant.
Yeah.
And I was miserable because just so many fucking reasons. We were moving. I was so stressed. And I read so many fucking books when I was pregnant. And they're like 1,000-page books. And I was ripping through them. Like my husband would get home and be like, what the actual fuck? Like I was just like, I read 800 pages today. At one point I had to go to the optometrist because my eyes started to get so blurry. And she's like, yeah, you can't just like read for hours.
That's amazing.
I did not know that. That's actually really funny.
That's really cool.
I know. And it was all these fantasy books. And yeah, no, I love them. So
That's rad.
Anyway, sorry, I don't even know. I got high.
Because we're comfortable. We're friends now. See, so we're just having a conversation. That's the way. That's exactly what I want. So,
will your listeners be interested in my pregnancy stories?
They seem to be. It's weird because it keeps growing. So
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
We've seen an uptick. Do we want to tell him why we've seen an uptick?
Is it from Josh?
No, but that did help. But no, something that I did.
Jessica went viral. Like 5 million people saw this video.
Good job.
I had a video that got 5 million views. It's up 5.1 now. It's been a horrible and really crazy experience. So it's been about 3.5 weeks since I posted this video.
Wow.
And it has not stopped. Like,
yeah, it's still
the
like
video.
Every second it's being liked.
The video, and I can describe it. It's just of these two girls that are young and getting married, and then I come on. So it's like a stitch on TikTok, and I come on, and I just say like, if I had gotten married when I was 18, my husband would have a Chevy tattoo and a DUI.
Oh my god!
So it is a joke. Like it is
good
true.
Yeah, but then you say so. Maybe it's a good thing to let those frontal lobes develop.
Oh my god!
Yeah, because I'm such a bitch. Like, but
you're awesome.
I thought it would get like 200 views. Like that's the thing is like you don't. I was like, oh, who cares what I say? No one's even watching. I'm just trying to promote the podcast, and then now it's at the point that I'm like, oh my god, so many times I've just wanted to delete it because I'm like, It's just like I don't. It's just that I was like, who's the dumbest person I've ever dated? Plus, like, I'm really happy that I didn't get married really young. I am. I got married when I was 29, almost 30, like just about to turn 30. And I'm like, I'm glad I just wasn't ready when I was that age. And it's just a stupid fucking video. Anyway,
and
we're just
you'd probably be
divorced.
If you
I was going to say, because you are
like, I'm divorced. Like,
I have a horrible past when it comes to relationships. Yeah, no, I had a courtship candle growing up. Of course, I'm not well. You know, no, it took me a long time to figure that out. Yeah, but and that there's abuse and it's real, right? Like,
what's a courtship candle?
Oh shit!
Sorry.
So when
I haven't even heard of the candle.
A courtship
this is
candle.
amazing. So
like, do you like light it with your?
So growing up, we weren't allowed to be alone with the opposite sex. So if you wanted to date a girl, the family had to approve, the whole family. So that means she has to come to like an event or a dinner, and everyone has to talk to her individually and separately. And
that would be so intimidating.
It's really weird, right? Yeah. And so we had these things all around the house that were like, it was a candlestick, and it had this like kind of spiral shape to it, and it has a little wooden piece in it with a knob that sticks out, and you can either make the candle really long or the candle really short. And that was like Puritans. Sorry, I couldn't let that go out. Puritans would like if they didn't like the girl, they would make the candlestick really short, and that's the time you're allowed to have with her to talk. Or if they do like the girl, they can make it really long. So it's how weird is that? Yeah, it's weird.
That's really fucking weird, man.
It's
What?
so weird. Yeah, and now imagine going from this to being like in a band.
Sorry,
like recognizing.
Yeah, that would be very.
It was awkward.
That would be awkward.
I'm sad she's gone. Where'd she go?
I think maybe her baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have two as well. I have two boys.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you have them all the time or part time?
I have one all the time. Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
I've had him actually. I single dadded it with him forever, pretty much until.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old are your boys?
12 and 8, almost 13 and 9, but. The one is like I still I'm like a side guy musician, so I still I played in country bands and toured. It's like how I made my living, so I had him with me. So we'd be like,
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. My sister has 8 kids, just had her 8th, and my other sister has 6. She just lost her 7th, unfortunately.
I'm so sorry.
But they are like jean skirt nation. They're like. And I wish I could. They're still loud and proud in that circle.
Oh man.
So I have to be really careful.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That was so good.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's weird too because when you grow up in these small religious circles, they're like fervor. They're like zealous for Jesus. They're horny for Jesus, as Josh says. And so we would go to all these weird places and hear weird people talk. Did you guys ever see that Wild Wild Country?
Yes.
I actually got to
Raj
go
Nish?
there. Yeah.
What?
It's a young life camp.
So that's what it is now?
Yeah, it was called Big Muddy. I don't know if it is now, but it was weird because I come from such a small denomination, and there was in all the churches I went to over the years, it was always 70, maybe 100 people.
Yeah, it's not a big congregation.
Yeah, they're like small Baptist churches, and so small Baptist church camps and small missionary trips. And so I play music, so I was playing music for this Young Life group, and I got a chance to go to this weird camp. And I showed up, and it was like this bus pulls in, and it's like right away there's like a guy on a zip line just zips the bus, and the zip line's like a mile long, and it goes into a freshwater lake, and there's like people on ATVs, and there's like climbing walls, and that place was nuts.
Is this like a dream you're having right now?
And like
so
everyone's
weird.
making out but me because I don't know anything about girls. It was a seminal age too, like 13, so it was just the weirdest.
I wouldn't have been making out with anyone at 13. So
man,
the three of us would have been sitting in a corner.
We would have been fine. We would have been talking about Jesus.
Me. Yes, I know. The Bible tells me.
Yeah.
Totally. I went to this. It was funny too because I went to this. They had different seminars there you could attend, and one of them was like righteous living for young men.
Oh no!
And you could guess what it was about, right? And so it's it was just straight masturbation, and I don't know why. I've attended many of these things in small congregations, but the dude teaching the class always has the most ridiculous mustache. Like just the most powerful.
The dude's a virgin. They're like, we are gonna get the virgin to teach about this.
I never put that together.
Like the sex educator that would come to our Christian camp and talk about abstinence to the teen camp. Like this woman was like 50 and a virgin, and she would tell you, and she'd be like, I'm proud.
Oh, I remember her. Okay,
you remember her? Yeah.
I've been having flashbacks of random Christian stuff, and this lady actually comes to mind because I think I only attended like a couple of her things, and I was like, "You're a fucking loser!" Like she was such a fucking. Dweeb.
I wonder if the parents sending their kids there knew that lady was coming. Like, were they like, we're just gonna
even
insert
when I
her
think
in
about.
here.
But when I think about my own parents, and who were, by the way, my family, they're not practicing Christians.
Okay.
Like they're like, I guess we believe in something. I don't know. Here, go to church camp. Like just like whatever. They had no idea what they were sending me to. But they probably would have been like, yeah, I'm glad someone's telling you not to have sex. You shouldn't. You're fucking 14 years old. But they don't realize the implications of that. they just know that I'm not going to have sex now, and that's
well, it
easy on
seems
them.
like,
and that makes sense.
Friday nights, your youth group, you're not out drinking. Like, it seems like a
Yeah.
good thing.
I was the easiest teenager, and I was the worst, like 21-year-old. Like, I was such an easy teenager, and then I did so much dumb shit in my early 20s. And my mom was like, what the fuck is going on? And like things that when you're in your early 20s, you have access to more things.
Sure.
Like
yeah.
dangerous
Alcohol,
things.
drugs,
so
yeah.
like hard drugs, not just
Yeah.
like, oh, we're gonna go smoke weed behind the shed. Like, so I would way rather have done all that when in my teens. Yeah.
I didn't smoke weed till I was 30.
What? Really?
I thought it made you a loser.
Well, I mean, it does.
Yeah, I mean,
look at us. Look at us.
Yeah, I've
day.
actually never done this well in life, so there's evidence to the contrary now. But yeah, I was just like, it was weird in that purity stuff too. Did you guys? Because like whenever anyone would even kiss another girl, I would have a mental breakdown. And like there was a couple in our youth group that got pregnant on a missions trip.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was like,
Ooh.
and
It
it
happens.
was. See, to me, 1 Corinthians 6:9, it explains that anyone who practices fornication goes to hell.
So you're just like,
To me,
fornication in your mind was like anything, like
Yes.
kissing.
yes. Well, Abraham made a covenant with his eyes, didn't he? To not look on a young maiden lustfully. So it's like,
and Jesus had to gouge them out.
it's crazy.
So what are we doing?
Yeah.
You know? Well, okay. So I don't know about Sarah, but for me, I was in one really Christian relationship, like one like hardcore, and then like
Yeah.
one with just like kind of a Christian guy. They both have the same name, which is also kind of funny, but that doesn't matter.
Is it Calvin?
No,
No.
no, it's not. That would be great though. But the first one was very Christian, and we were in high school. This is the person who I touched his penis and all, and then we felt horrible when we're reading the Bible.
For you.
But that would like we kissed and we made out, and that was it. Like nothing else except for like that one time.
Yeah.
And so kissing wouldn't have sent me into a fervor. But like people, when I ever found out that anyone was having sex in high school, I was like, what? Like,
Yeah. Well, for
shocking.
me, it was even like more like if there was anything below the pants, that was like,
Oh, I couldn't even. we
or
couldn't even do
touching the
boob
boobs.
stuff.
Yeah.
None of that.
But especially below the pants. Like we had a friend that she gave her boyfriend of 2 years a blowjob, and like I got so mad at her. One, mad that she didn't tell me, and mad two that she broke the rules. And
Yeah, because Sarah said,
I was like, "Well, why
she
would
told
you tell me?" And she's like, "Well, like you'd get mad."
You said we made a pact,
and you are mad.
Did we make?
We made a pact, yeah, not to have sex or
You guys
drink
did?
or- yeah, when we were like going into like ninth grade, we were like,
Yeah,
all
going
right.
from junior high to high school, we were like, let's make a pact, and then
Yeah,
I feel like I see your guys' like new Hulu TV show of your guys' friendship. I just saw it in my head, like
Like a
making that
reality
pact.
show?
Yeah, that one pact started a podcast and a TV show and a crazy merch line for you.
oh man,
That's
no.
so
we
funny.
can't handle one viral video. I don't know.
I don't think I could do a fucking Hulu documentary. I swear to God, like just
No.
having the viral video, man. Like back to it. It's been horrible. It's been
It is
consuming my
weird when
whole life to a point that like I can't think
you
of
gotta let
anything
it go.
else. I
Yeah.
am
Yeah,
because it's like
you're a good person.
it's not making me anxious anymore, which is good,
Good.
because it was really the first week I was like, I can't handle this. And then now I don't care.
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't care about most of the comments. Some of them are really bad, like transphobic and like racist.
yeah.
And we're like, hey, why? Like, what is this? And so a lot of things people have to be blocked. And it's just, that's the side of the internet that I know exists. But
Yeah.
like I have curated my internet over the past,
Oh,
however
yeah.
long the internet's been
Mhm.
around, to like not see this, because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, my Reddit is like houseplants and like
Puppies.
puppies and kitties and
Yeah.
like that's it.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
stuff about fantasy books. Like I don't go
But
on
at the same
these.
time, like even making fun of the bad, like I think that's good. It's just a little nudge, because the real truth is really kind, good people are wandering into these congregations year after year seeking guidance, especially with who they should marry. And at that age, it's very easy to be manipulated. So you're even though you're gonna, there's gonna be 10% of the people out there that see that video that are fucking assholes. You know,
And
think of all the
thing
other
is that
people.
it's not even Christians. Like
No,
we
it's
want the
all like
Christian audience.
young. It's young,
Andrew
like
Tate lovers.
yeah, right-wing young men that are like 20.
Oh,
But
man,
not
it's
right wing in a Christian way, just like why like
No,
Donald Trump.
I'm actually out. I have a house out in the country that type of. There's not even a mailman. This town's so small.
Oh man. Wow.
Yeah, it makes me sound like I'm Bali, but really it's just a tiny, tiny town. Okay, but like, yeah, these were the people I grew up with. So these men, I've heard them talk, and it is.
Tell me about them.
Yeah, why don't you let us in on the boys club?
Well, see, I'm not a very good boy at the boys club because growing up, all the most religiously sound people I had met were women. So I really grabbed because all the teachers in Sunday schools and stuff were all the women in my church. So like, I that would be a long. See, you guys make me. I'm so excited to have you guys on that I'm not interviewing you guys. You guys are just interviewing me. I feel all special. I feel all special.
Talk about yourself. People want to know. People want to know. Nobody wants to listen to a woman talk.
Come on.
What are you talking about?
Of course, own your place. No, we're just joking.
See, our podcast, even my co-host, we think women should run everything.
I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
I think the best person for the job should run.
Listen, I love being a
Sarah.
dude. I am such a dude. I love being a dude. I love driving fast. I love punching things really hard. I love screaming with my shirt off. Every once in a while, if there's enough whiskey, I'll just climb a random object. Like,
as you should.
It's fun.
Okay.
I don't, but I think there was a balance lost somewhere in history with the divine, and I think once that's restored, it would be a lot easier.
I think just more equal opportunity. Yeah. Like when I'm actually thinking about it, I'm like, hey, could just like the person qualified do it? Does it have to be, do you have to have a swinging penis or can we just...
unfortunately, but it's changing. It's changed a lot because what happened is all those swinging penis guys never came up with good shit or their own ideas. They just stole them for other women that worked underneath them. And then you can't produce later on when they quit. Yeah, actually, I'm close to this subject too. So is my co-host. Yeah, it's weird to watch. But the guys, because it kind of leads into this other thing. Because since you're Canadian, I was wondering what you guys think of Jordan Peterson.
We actually have we do talk about this. We've talked about this
because I have mixed emotions about it. So you can feel safe to.
Yeah.
We also. So I do. Sarah, you go first.
So
you're gonna be nicer about it.
I think that people put Jordan Peterson in with like Andrew Tate, super far right wing types, and I do think there are some people that like Jordan Peterson, but I would say like Jordan Peterson is the last on the train stop of like normal says some good things. There are also things he says that I don't agree with. I think I'm happy to call people whatever pronouns they want, and I think he's just being a little bit of an itty bitty asshole.
Yes.
And he needs to just get over it and call people
were
what they want to be called.
Were you about to call him a weenie?
But he says some good shit otherwise. That's my caveat. Like,
yeah, because I travel so much for my entire life that I listen to so many podcasts, and about 2017, I think I discovered his podcast. And back then,
have you listened to Dave Rubin?
That you're the second person to bring that up. So I'm into other people, but Jordan Peterson.
Dave Rubin is a gay guy that moved to Florida because he did not like California.
Yeah, man, I kind of like California
because it was too liberal. So
it's pretty liberal, and that's probably why I like it because I grew up in the sticks. But Jordan Peterson.
If we were going to live in the States, I think that's the only place I would ever live.
What, California?
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
it is. The states are great.
I do Vermont. Vermont's cool.
Vermont's really sleepy though.
I like sleepy.
We're from a pretty sleepy place.
Yeah, like I live in a town that's under 150,000 people. It's less than 100,000. It's perfect.
Yeah, whenever anyone complains about LA, it's just like you got to remember. It's just there's 20 million people in the county or something like that. It's like
that's crazy.
There's
LA
more
is
people.
So fucking big.
There's more people there than the next 12 biggest states combined.
Well, California is the same population as Canada, like our whole country.
Insane. There's like
so back to Jordan Peterson though. I'm going to bring it back.
So So, because I've read the Bible so literally, because of the podcast now, I've done Genesis to Revelations 14 times, and it's kind of weird. Well, yeah, because I read the Bible an hour a morning, so you end up over. I'm fucking 40 now, you know.
Amazing.
So it's weird. I'm weird, but his podcast has this psychological bent to the, and it was all just the Old Testament.
Yeah, all the archetypes and everything.
And that's so cool to me. But I wonder if I'm just like such a Jesus fuckboy. Like I'm such a fanboy for Jesus that
that's
I'm
weird, like young, like Carl Jung shit. Like,
has anyone read Carl Jung? Because that's the hardest shit to understand. I'm sorry, I've tried so many times to read, but like,
I just think
he's so much smarter than me. That's all I know.
Yeah. Yes, I am much dumber than Jordan Peterson. I will say that, obviously.
Yes,
I think I have more of a distaste for him and than Sarah does, but Sarah has explained to me that I shouldn't be.
I'm probably way too sympathetic to him, just because I feel like I'm way too sympathetic to everyone.
But that's not a bad
I like
thing.
him. I'll say that. I think his books are amazing. It feels like he says shit to get attention.
I feel like his 12 rules for life is just like, make your bed. I'm like, okay. Yeah, but like,
here's the thing. You're a woman. You're a really smart girl. And we're talking about the boys club. So women, they've got to figure it out. Go hang out with the little kids at the playground and watch the little boys and girls. You know what I'm saying? You could tell, like, those ones are smart. Them women folk.
I just saw a TikTok about a study they did of like in the UK of 11-year-olds, like 9 to 11-year-olds. They put little boys in a house with cameras, no supervision, like 9 to 11-year-old boys for a week or 10 days.
What?
And then they did the same thing with little girls. And like the boys, they destroyed the whole fucking house. And like they had like barely anything to eat. Like they just were like eating scraps. And then the girls like divided a chore schedule and like who would take turns cooking for each other. And,
there you go.
This is unsurprising.
And the house was like impeccably clean. And
and obviously we're being very binary with gender right now, but like I'd say as a rule, like, or as like on an average, like this is pretty. This sounds right.
The spirits of male, the feminine and masculine seem to be pretty accurate this way. I just kind of want to always take my shirt off and draw stuff on my chest and like yell.
I never have ever wanted to do that.
Right. Because you're a smart, beautiful thing. See? So someone's got to tell their fucking dumb animals to fucking clean their shit up, you know? Like so I appreciate that way. But also
it's easier being in a relationship with a woman like than a man. Like,
no, there's a lot of good guys out there too.
No, only easier. Yeah. I mean, with like keeping things like clean and orderly.
Oh, that would be great. I would love
some of us
in that regard.
That's true.
Handle. Yeah. I would prefer a woman for the organization part of it. Most women I know are more organized than my husband has ever been.
Women are more socialized to do that too. Like if you want.
Yeah, have you guys ever read any Terrence McKenna? Have you ever heard of him? It makes sense because he's kind of a niche guy. He's a drug guy, like super into psychedelics. Back in did you ever what's his name? Timothy Leary. There was a whole group of.
I don't know anything, man. Like I am.
No. This is all because it's drug shit. There was this whole group of Harvard guys, these professors at Harvard that started doing crazy amounts of drugs. And they became these huge, essentially like the Jordan Petersons of then, right? So they were like, one of them started that, Timothy Leary had that tune in, drop out, turn on, that kicked off the love movement of the hippies and shit. That was like their anthem. So like, it was all these professors that had started messing with psychedelics. And so Terrence McKenna has this amazing theory of how evolution kicked off with mushrooms, with psychedelics. And then
I've heard that. I've heard
Stoned
this.
Ape, yeah.
Okay,
I've
heard this.
Well, he has this other kind of idea, I believe, and I hope I'm not butchering it because I always read his shit when I'm stoned. But that, like, if you look at times past, it seems that society might have been kicked off more from alcohol than agriculture. It was, like they find all these mills where they were making grain, and they always just assume that was like bread, but it's like, no, they were making alcohol and getting fucked up. And,
I could actually see that because I feel like just for a lot of humans, especially humans that have had hard lives, the human condition is just spend as much time as you can not in actual reality.
Yeah. I guess that's, wow. That made me think a lot. Well, I think there's a divorce with the feminine from this area because alcohol, which I used to love and drink a lot of because of the bands, it makes you like egotistical and it makes you like closed off. And I don't know, be stoned with me for a moment here and walk down the path and see if this spaghetti sticks even. But like, let's say we lived in like a perfect community in times past with the feminine and masculine energies balanced, let's say that those cultures were driven mostly by psychedelics, possibly, because a lot of weird old religions from back then talk about psychedelics, use psychedelics, and the divine, like priestesses would be the head of the church, women would be the head of the church. So I always have looked at alcohol since reading this as like a thing that kicked off like men being stupid enough to just like start putting the other half of our species in subservience, and we have still yet to get out of it. And like the psychedelic revolution,
decent
gives me
theory
hope for that. Yeah, right.
That's actually really interesting.
Yeah, that's a decent because I always look at so many people that just that I know that could just use a good mushroom trip. Like, Jesus, like there's a meme and it's like, I love my mother to death, but if I ever knew a person that needed a fucking joint, like it's my mom. Like she's like my sister and I say that all the time about my mom. My sister loves weed as well. And we're just like, that woman, we love her, but she needs to relax. Like,
yes.
So
she needs
funny.
fucking edible. And I'm thinking
the
more
fact
like
that your sister is still like that. You guys used to be so different.
Yeah, my sister used to judge me for smoking weed, and then one day she texts me. She goes, "You know how I used to judge you for smoking weed every day?" And I'm like, "Oh, are you smoking weed every day?" She's like, "Yeah."
It's pretty cool.
Saw it coming. I'm like, "Now you know why I do it, man. Now you know."
Yeah. It's people are waking up. It's like you said, life's hard, and we all need to get through it. And like
it's fucking, and it's easier than it was, back in 1800s.
Jesus,
the 1800s.
It has in some
like
ways.
our lives are much easier in certain ways where we have luxuries that we never had before. But then in other ways,
disconnected.
That's something that's so much worse. Like,
yeah, but look at us,
all
you
these
guys.
creature comforts.
We're talking right now on different sides of the world, right? And so like,
and anyone who's listening, you're here too.
Yes. I still
we forget
say,
about you, but you are here.
We've got South Africa popping off. We don't know who it
popping
is.
Popping off South Africa.
Yeah,
all
and
right.
Australia. Thank you, Australia. But
hi, Australia.
But
you're like us, but you talk different.
Yeah, they're rad. I've never been down there.
I love Australia. There's a lot of Australians in Canada. It's like a thing that like, especially skiing communities. If you live out west, there's so many fucking Australians.
Yeah,
it's great, and they're all so nice.
Yeah. I have cousins that are Canadian.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're over on.
Do they live in Toronto?
No, Vancouver, BC. They're over on this side.
Nice.
It's so I love Canada. Like so much, and every time, because we played there a lot, like I was saying, we would go through, and every time it would just be so weird to me that we don't have free healthcare, because it was just so obvious why everyone's so nice and happy all the time. Like they have free healthcare. Why is everyone like?
It's funny because like we have such problems here in Canada, but at least we have healthcare.
Yeah,
for now, they're trying. Most
maybe,
provinces are definitely trying to privatize it.
Yeah, maybe just Nickelback.
Or like more of a dual system now.
Yeah.
What now?
There's more of a dual system now. Like they're allowing more privatization to come in. Before there used to be stricter laws. Like you couldn't go get you couldn't go pay to get an MRI at a private clinic, but now there's like more and more services like that popping up.
Oh, that's cool. Here it's crazy.
Oh yeah.
It's the Wild West.
You guys have, yeah, no, you guys have just like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, like 10K to have a baby.
How does anyone in America ever even have a baby? Like, I don't understand. And you get like no mat leave.
Yeah.
We get 18 months if we want it here.
Oh no, I worked 3 jobs and had my little dude. Like it was just me and him.
That would be hard.
Yeah,
I took a year off with each of my kids.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
It was really nice.
Yeah, that time is so important. My co-host, he's 10 years older than me, and his kid just turned 18. And that was the last podcast, was us talking about that. Because it's like, I don't know if you've seen that movie Hook. It was like
I know
Peter
of it. I
Pan.
it.
Yeah.
There's a talk in there that the wife gives old Peter Pan, and she's like, you only have this time with them. After this, they're gone. You know, and so like, I don't know, young ages, getting time off to be able to cuddle and play with that little thing. Yeah. That'd be beautiful.
I have a baby and I miss her already. She's just in the living room.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Because see, if you're that kind of parent, you'll be the kind of parent that later on will be like, get the fuck out of the house. Because you're like, I did a good job. You're cute. You're good.
I know, oh my God.
You're not even close to thinking that way.
When I first had her, I was like, you're never leaving me. You're going to live with me forever. I still feel like that. She's just a baby. It's so weird when they're babies. I mean, obviously when she gets older, then you're like, okay. But
as they get more independent.
I mean, she's one, but like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, there's nothing.
They're cool.
Greater.
It's really fun.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do with religion. I keep trying to talk to him about it. I'm just expressing how many different. We've been talking about Buddhism a lot lately.
Cool.
But my mom just passed, and she was she was like an evangelist beyond evangelists. She was a intense person, and so she gave all the kids, because she has like 45 grandkids, Bibles. Yeah, I know. Well, you have to have a lot of kids because you got to keep attendance in the church, and there's a high turnover rate when you're a young Earth creationist church. You know, like as the kids grow, they need that tax-free income coming in. You know what I'm saying? So pump out babies, but it kind of sparked interest in both the boys and in the Bible. And I was like, oh, shit. And I was like, I'm going to head this one off at the pass. So I've been reading it with them a little bit here and there.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so my daughter is just a baby, but I think so often about her teenage years. And the reason is because we do this podcast and I think a lot about my teenage years. And I don't know what I'm going to do. Because you can't tell them not to do it, because then they're just going to fucking do it, right? Like you can't be like, don't read the Bible. Like, like, I don't know, man. Sarah, what are you doing?
I have said when I've had discussions with one inquisitive child
she has a very inquisitive child.
Yeah. And I've just said, as long as you are kind to yourself and kind to other people, like, that's like you get to figure that out. You get to ask those questions. Like, I don't know, if she's going to go do something, she's going to go do something. I just, I hope she's like a kind person, and if she's going to be a Christian or not, like, but I tell her like, I don't believe when she asks questions. And
yeah, that's good. I mean, it's also hard for me because I come from such a weird. Fundamentalism is not, I don't think it's not a good representation of Christianity as a whole.
No, for sure.
I don't. But they're the loudest. They're the loudest and the most strange. So that's what happens.
Yeah, do you know the Westboro Baptist Church? Have you heard of them?
Of course.
They're
so famous.
They're all
so
lawyers.
Famous. They're what?
They're all lawyers.
It's like Scientology.
Owners. They're like super smart and super established and very.
That's how the longest running cults keep going.
Yes,
get the really smart people, and somehow that's how Scientology keeps going. I'm listening to an audiobook about Scientology now. So I
wonder if they have like a spaceship in the basement. I wonder if they have like an alien
for Scientology.
Body. Yeah,
probably.
It's just like unending money and influence over the celebrities. I live in Santa Monica, so it's like there's like.
Isn't there a Church of Scientology there? Yeah.
Well, you know where it was founded?
No.
LA.
East Grinstead. No, wasn't it East Grinstead, United Kingdom? Like that's where one of the first Scientology.
Is that where L. Ron Hubbard created Scientology. Is he from the UK? He might be. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I've never read anything
Gotta look this up.
He was a known swindler, and so he traveled a lot. Like, he got on this guy's boat for years and just like ate him out of house and home as he was over talking.
Oh, probably. So and then he like went to America for a bit, and then America was like, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And then that's why it's called the Sea Org, because they had to live in international waters because everyone was after Ron Hubbard.
But have you seen Tom Cruise lately? Because he looks like he's 12.
He sure does. They're definitely like drinking blood of.
Yeah, I wonder. Maybe that's where we get
look like
that
he's
kind
12.
of blood.
I've not looked at that guy.
He looks so good. Have you watched Top Gun? Although, you know what? They can make people look younger on those movies
that is
now.
Crazy. That's what it's like. That's crazy.
And like any Mission Impossible movie, you're like, what the fuck are you doing, buddy?
It has to be.
He hangs off the sides of planes. He's like, this is cool and normal behavior.
Yeah. I'm just going to jump this motorcycle into this crevasse real quick.
Yeah. I'm 100 years old. Yes, I look 12. No, he's a real like, I love the Mission Impossible movies. I love Top Gun or whatever. You know, he's a passionate actor, but but he's a fucking nut job. What are you looking up, Sarah?
I'm totally guys. I'm sorry. No,
Sarah's off on a tangent. L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah, so he purchased a building in East Grinstead, which is this sleepy little town in the UK, and that's where the British headquarters of Scientology is. And I had a friend that when I worked in the UK, that she worked over in a church in that town, and it was like they had like a bunch of weird new age religious movements that had all founded there. It's like this, you can look it up. It's this weird town with all these like weird, and like everywhere you go, it's like Scientology or like the Church of like Christian Science. Like there's just all this like,
That's
really
weird. It's like a gravity well for fucking crazies.
Yeah. Like the Bermuda Triangle of extremism. Everyone just lands there.
But for real though, huh? It's like
great. So that's where you guys were talking about Tom Cruise looking 8, and I was
it's okay. This is a Tom Cruise stan podcast. This is where we talk everything Tom Cruise.
Fans. Yeah, we're fans. Tommy C is what we.
I'm not a fan, actually.
You don't like Tom Cruise?
How can you
mean Katie Holmes not talk during labor?
Sorry. We're not talking about Tom Cruise the person. We're talking about Tom Cruise the actor.
The idea.
Okay, there's this like the idea. Nobody likes Tom Cruise the person. He's a psycho.
No, he's probably killing someone right now. He's probably in some weird blood ritual right now. There's a pentagram and way too many candles as we speak.
Yeah, he's doing the Illuminati symbol.
Fantastic. God damn it. Have you ever seen Minority Report?
Oh, fuck, that movie's so goddamn good.
Or Vanilla Sky?
Haven't seen that one, but I should.
It's crazy. It's great. Fantastic.
I've seen all the Mission Impossibles multiple times.
They're so good.
Oh, man.
But again,
every time there's a new one, I get giddy. And the next one, it was like part 1 and 2, and I was like, fuck, there's gonna be 2 new ones. Like, I hate Tom Cruise, but I'm so excited.
You just like see the match lit, like that, the spark going down the line.
Yeah.
And like I've had so many questions to ask you guys, which is hilarious.
Oh my god!
But this one is leading into because it's been so long. I don't want to. I feel so. I'll keep going, but I gotta at least ask this one because, like, with all these new like actors and people using Christianity to like build their fan base, kind of is what it seems like to me. I have a weird problem where I always get like physically like angered and triggered. Like I love Chris Pratt. I love every movie he's ever made. I bet I love him, as a person. But Jesus isn't really big on money.
Not according to Joel Osteen.
Jesus hates money.
He says it directly,
He has a lot of and the apostles, if you can trust the Bible, sold all their shit and kind of lived in a commune because Jesus is coming back at any moment, and they need to be spending every moment of their life
like total Shane Claiborne style Christianity.
Yeah, well, I mean that's in the Bible. That's what this is. You know, this isn't Paul. This isn't Timothy. This is Jesus Christ. I hate Paul. You hate
hate
him too?
Paul.
Look
hate
at
Paul.
you know, like prosperity gospel people. Like there's so fucking many of them that obviously they just know how to twist the scripture to their own liking. And do you think Chris Pratt has read the Bible cover to cover?
No.
I think he just like went to a church once and was like, "This is great. I like singing songs." Like I think he probably got caught up in the music. I don't know.
He might even just be stoked on the buffet afterwards. You know, he's like, "You get a donut and fucking yeah." I mean, and
yeah, but I think for some people, it's like it's as ingrained as their worldview, right? Like they're like that's what they were raised in. They take it for granted. It's like a lot of people that go through life and are working. Say I'm working in like I don't know, in something that's not scientific at all. I'm not like keeping up on the latest science or knowing what's going on or really even reading it. Maybe I've never like read a science book in my life. It's like it's not you don't have to have an opinion or know everything. I think it's easy to be like, oh my God, they haven't read the Bible. But like for them, Christianity is so much more, it's like a culture. It's like an experience.
Yes.
It's not just and it's like all those stories you hear, because like there's tons of stories you hear as a kid, but obviously not all of them because they're not all appropriate or
you know, but there's so many verses in the Bible that talk about not being lukewarm, that talk about the seed being sown in the wrong areas, that would warn you about going. In fact, there's one of my favorite is I can't remember where it is in the Gospels, but some guy gets to heaven and he's like, Lord, Lord, I prophesied in your name and I did signs and miracles and I did wonders. Yeah. And he says, away from me, I never knew you. And that's in heaven. That's JC in heaven turning someone away. And that guy sounds like a pastor. Yeah. That guy that's given his credentials up there. So it's like, wouldn't you, if you're going to like be on
like when I was hungry, you never fed me. When I was naked, you never clothed me. When I was without shelter, you didn't give me shelter kind of thing.
One thing you gotta realize too, so somebody who like I wasn't as hardcore as you guys, I don't think, is that like I know a lot of people that are Christians that they've never read the Bible. Like you said that earlier, but like there are a lot that are like I just like, you know, I like kind of maybe I know some Bible verses, but they don't know that the stuff's in the Bible. They're not looking it up. They're out living their lives and they're being good people. And they pray for people, but they're like, yeah, and I think God's real. But anyway, like they don't think about it as deeply as people that have deconstructed do.
I just don't. I don't know.
So that's probably like Chris Pratt. He's like, yeah, no, same, and so I don't ask questions. I don't want to be mean to people, but I do know people that, you know, this is their life.
A certain personality, like a certain type of person, is more likely to deconstruct. There must be, right? Because there's it's not to do with intelligence. There's tons of intelligent people in every belief system. Like
what caused you guys?
I can't think of like a reason why. Sarah probably has a reason why for her, because I have a really bad memory, but I think it was a slow burn during like the end of high school where I was just like, I don't feel it. Like it doesn't feel like it should. It doesn't feel like it used to. Everything just feels fuzzy there. Like, and I just started to drift away. And because my family's not evangelical, it wasn't hard to drift away. And I lost some friends, but I kept some friends. And yeah. Sarah?
For me, it was kind of like when I was 12, that's when I figured out that Christianity is maybe not super egalitarian. And then I would have problems, like things would pop up with the Bible. And then you'd always find a scholar that would talk in the way you wanted it to go. And I remember like having cut out so many, just like the only belief I had left was essentially like the resurrection of Jesus, because that kind of had to happen because that's the point. And I think just one day like being like, wait, I love Jesus so much and the person he was, and I could still like base my life off those things, but like resurrection, that's like human sacrifice. Like could God not come, an all loving, all knowing God, not come up with a better way or just forgive? Like why does there need to be blood? And then you look and you're like, oh, like Abraham and Isaac, oh, ancient religions that are just sacrificing animals. Like can't we do better?
Exodus says your firstborn, you have to sacrifice to Yahweh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the Old Testament.
Which rules. It's like Game of Thrones. If you like that fantasy shit, there's like they raise people from the dead and talk to them and shit. There's crazy shit.
Man,
I don't know why.
There's crazy shit in the Gospels too. That when Jesus goes up or goes into hell or wherever, like when Jesus is killed, then everyone's risen from their graves and just zombies are going around everywhere. No one ever mentions that.
No one ever talks about that one. Yeah. Well, a lot of the stuff in the Gospels, they were like, especially like, what is it, Mark 9:1? Maybe Jesus is like, and assuredly some of you here shall see this happen, when like him coming back, essentially. Yeah. And it's like, all those people died out, and he didn't come back. and
he's still not back, and everyone thinks he's about to come back. And
but every generation says that.
That's
so funny. They're like, there's signs of war and rumors of war and war, earthquakes, and you're like,
and the great falling away, and and I'm like, yep, every fucking generation, every generation,
exactly. And it's funny because like, one, it depends on. It's a hotly debated topic when these books were written, but they seem to be written close to or after the Great Roman Jewish War, which is like 30 fucking years after Jesus died. So the game of telephone is being played. Jesus spoke Aramaic. The Gospels were written in Greek. So even from there, we have no eyewitnesses. We have a language barrier right away. And we have the telephone game through socioeconomic classes. Oh, also, the only people that could read and write were like the 1%. So you have the people copying the books being very wealthy and established. That's some fuckery we should be able to.
It's a conspiracy. And it's the deepest conspiracy in all the world.
But the Council of Nicaea was led by the Holy Spirit. So
I learned that from the Da Vinci
You're like, how
Code.
does that work? And they're like, the Holy Spirit. And you're like, oh, okay.
Dan Brown told me all about that in the Da Vinci Code. And that's the only reason I know what that is.
That's so fun, though. That's so fun. Because, it's a pretty important date for Catholics.
Yeah, and I was raised Catholic, and I didn't know anything about it. They don't tell you anything when you're a Catholic. They're just like, whatever. Here's Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And then
just like, say you're sorry.
have a glass of wine. You're fine.
You could pay this priest some money that you could do whatever you want.
I love being Catholic. Well, and going to mass, I guess I haven't gone in a few years because I haven't gone to see my parents at Christmas. But when we go to Christmas mass, and it's always hilarious. Me and my sister are just talking shit the whole time.
Or you just hopped out and sit in the car with your brother-in-law.
That happened so one year. I was like edgy atheist phase. You know what, guys? I was like,
mad respect.
I look back and I'm like, because they all went into church and my brother-in-law and me were like, no. And I'm like, you know what? I think I just kind of had some trauma from church and I just didn't want to like relive it. But at the time I was like, I'm so edgy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's important. It's important.
But then I went back. I just couldn't handle it.
We kind of want to start a church, me and Jeff, but like,
really?
Well, maybe not. I was like all gung ho for it when we started the podcast. And the weed sponsor we have for the podcast, he has a psychedelic church. He's an interesting.
You have a weed sponsor?
Yeah, but it's yeah.
That's cool.
It's crazy. I get like trash bags of.
Jessica, we're doing this wrong.
To be honest, if you guys want to visit California, I could take you out to the farm. It's pretty crazy to see.
Oh fuck! Wow. All right, well, I'm going to LA this summer. We can chat.
Yeah, I can't say where it is. Obviously, it's not. It's a bit of a drive, but yeah, it's usually about 100 pounds every 3 months. So to be around that many ladies, it's so much fun. Well, no, that's what he grows. It's just to see that many plants. It's like weird. It's weird to be around weed. As
you get 100 pounds of weed every 3 months. You are such a stoner.
Oh yeah, no, I've been like, well, see, my wife is actually more of a stoner than I am. It's weird, and I can.
Where's she? Why isn't she chatting? Was she fucked up from religion too, or?
No, she's a genius. No, she's like she's stable. I actually tried to start the podcast. with
We
her.
all need a stable person, okay? The
Yeah.
three of us are pretty fucked up, so I get it. All of our partners are stable.
Yeah, she's a super genius, and I tried to start it with her during the pandemic, and it was funny because every episode I would like read different passages of the Bible, and I'd be like, especially one episode I would curate them, so it'd be like money, sex, and I would like find all these different verses about the subject, and every conversation was like, the Bible says this, and I'm like, yeah, and she's like, but no one does this, and I'm like, yeah.
No.
And she's like, this is fucking stupid. And that was every episode. It was like, that's as far as we could get. She would give me no more. She's like, I'm sorry. This is the dumbest shit. I love her.
No, you got to find the people with the trauma. Then
Where it's almost impossible to even talk because we're always being triggered.
Yeah, my husband's like, what the fuck are you talking about all the time? He doesn't remember anything, or he doesn't understand anything. I'm starting to think I'm getting tired, but
same with my partner. Like,
she's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like they don't know. They didn't grow up like this, and all my in-laws, my husband has some siblings, and they're always like, you did this? You're fucked. And I'm like,
they know so much about me.
They've never met you.
About that. I'm like, oh my god.
From the podcast.
Yeah,
we tell a lot of very personal stories. And there's and we've only have 13 episodes right now, 14 episodes, so it's like it's about to get deeper. We're getting there, man.
Well, I'm like 10 of those episodes in, so I'm very excited for it to get deeper.
I'm impressed.
I'm essentially almost.
Oh my god, are you our biggest fan?
I might be.
Fan?
It's been hard to even talk to you guys because I'm so excited. So I'm like,
no one's ever been. By the way, no one's ever been excited to talk to me before, so it's very exciting.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. We're honestly just excited you showed up. We had like I won't say who, but someone else that asked us to be on their podcast. And then we were like ready. And they're like, oh my God, I totally forgot. I'm out with friends.
No.
They're like, we can do it again sometime. And I was like, no, thanks.
Yeah.
Like
since I've never had a real job, it's always been when you like make art for a living, you're like scared constantly. So you're like showing up, doing what you say. It's like,
I love it. You were on time. Yeah. We were snappity. I like that because I'm on time too. I worked in business, did business shit for so long. You're not late for stuff there. Like,
you seem like a CEO type. I felt this energy. I was like, if we gave her the reins and we just argued, this would probably work out.
Yeah, you would. I think you would be a good moderator.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, it helps.
Jessica's good at.
It helps that I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about, so I'm like, oh, okay.
That was like me when you guys started talking about popular culture, like Mission Impossible.
So
I was just like,
oh yeah,
I'm gonna go and talk about Ron Hubbard now.
L. Ron, have you seen that? Do you know who Paul Thomas Anderson is? To mix culture and he made this rad movie called Boogie Nights. And
I've heard of it.
He's if like Aaron Sorkin and Wes Anderson were this like same person making movies. So it's like crazy amazing dialogue, a great plot development. And he makes these pretty artsy films. They're like, but he has this one called The Master, and it's the most boring movie I've ever watched. So I have to say that. It's horrible. But Paul Thomas or Philip Seymour Hoffman, do you know that actor?
I do know who that is. He was in Mission Impossible.
He was. That's I was going to say it, but I didn't know. Yeah, he plays L. Ron Hubbard. And and Joaquin Phoenix plays this fucked up sailor that L. Ron Hubbard like rehabilitates.
Oh, really?
It is such a those two.
It's actually boring because I'm really into cults. I'm really into cults, like weirdly obsessed with cults. Man, that's where my fucked up trauma gets
like what kind of cults?
Every cult, everyone, every single
one. My therapist tells me to call my religion that I grew up with a cult.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like saying that Christianity is a cult because that's a huge generalization.
Yeah.
But I
the
really
church I went to was definitely a cult.
Yeah, there are portions that are culty for sure.
Yeah.
And from what you've told me about your childhood, it sounds also culty.
Yeah,
It ticks a few boxes off.
Yeah, I'll come on your guys's. You could just rapid fire questions and
Holy
I
fuck.
know.
It is,
yeah, you asked to interview us, and then we interviewed you.
yeah, it's funny.
But we're
I seriously-
interested. Yeah, like interested in hearing about. That's a very unique
Well, if people want to
perspective.
know about us, they can just come listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
Where can they find that podcast?
Oh my gosh, they can find it wherever they get their podcasts. It's
Oh my
called You
goodness.
Can't Get to Heaven in a Miniskirt. Oh.
And I heard that.
And
song
we are
growing
on
up.
we are on TikTok and Instagram at Heaven
TikTok?
in a Miniskirt.
I heard one of your videos had 5.1 million views recently.
It sure did.
That is fucking
Please go on there and tell me how much of a bitch I am.
Yeah, you can't. The comments.
And then I will
don't
like
even
your
go there.
comment.
Sarah likes all the back comments.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Me too. Do you
Sometimes I'll
talk
just be
back?
like,
Do
I'm
you
gonna
argue?
spread some love.
We stopped arguing after like day 3, and then
Yeah.
I haven't commented on anything since then.
People
And- 'cause
argue
it's just-
for it. Like
There's
people
like 3,000
argue
comments.
within.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
there's infighting, and most people just say I'm a fucking dumb bitch, and that's fine. I'm an
I
old
mean, we
bitter
get
bag.
the occasional DM, and with that, sometimes I'll engage. You're just like, delete it.
Sarah
I'm
loves
just like,
engaging the DM.
Yeah.
Every time I'm like- She'll and then
No, I
she gets a
want to
couple-
be someone that loves engaging the DMs. There's a difference because I'll
Yeah.
start doing it, and then I'm like, I don't want to talk to you anymore.
It gets boring.
Exactly what happens.
Yeah.
She gets like 5
And then I'm
messages
like,
in. She's
"All
like,
right,
oh
thanks,
no.
bye."
And she just is like,
Like-
okay, thank you for the dialogue. Except you were just
Yeah.
trying to convert me to Christianity. Bye.
Yeah. I do. Well, I mean, like it depends on the person. I find it interesting talking to Christians. Like we're gonna have
Oh, sure.
we're gonna have the president of BioLogos on our podcast. Yeah,
And he's a believer.
Deb Harshma. She's like,
her.
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah. There's your male
Woman
bias.
science.
Well,
Toxic masculinity.
it was because I figured they're a Christian, so they're a moron. But I didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't-
She has a PhD from MIT, and we're
Hell
gonna
yeah.
talk to her. Do you think
yeah,
I?
and she's like an astronomer, and
Hell yeah. And she's
She
a
makes
believer.
school-
Oh, you guys.
And she's a
Christian
Christian.
and evangelical, and she makes home curriculum for homeschoolers, being like one of the biggest reasons why kids leave the church is their faith. Like, let's teach actual science. Like, she's so good.
Yes.
Yeah.
We love her. So
We love her.
Like, so we're having her on the podcast in a few weeks, and we're really excited. So hopefully
That's
it all
so
kind of works out. We haven't
badass.
interviewed her yet, so like,
Yeah.
Well,
But
it's
she-
cool. That gives me hope.
Yeah.
yes, there are lots of people like that, and so that's what we're hopefully
Yeah.
kind of trying to do in our podcast is be like, hey, let's all just like get along and like bridge the
Let's talk about
gap,
it.
and
Yeah.
like, why do we have to be so mad at each other? Because
I-
most
We
of
try
us
to like
probably
describe a balanced view. Like we give like all the perspectives,
Totally.
like from liberal progressive Christians to like those crazy ass people that are on different planets. Like
and
we-
like I'm not gonna like hold back my opinion on those people, right? The people that are on different planets, but it is good to at least like talk
Yeah.
about it.
By showing them that kind of kindness, then it makes it easier for them to show you. And that,
we're not always kind.
Oh no, I'm
Oh,
definitely an
I'm-
old bitch.
If you listen to our podcast, we're assholes. It's horrible. And to be honest, I'll even call myself out on it. Like I have respect for faith, and there's plenty of people in faith, pastors and whatnot, some of them that I love and think are amazing.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
if you're a fundamentalist, I'm pretty sure you're a fucking idiot. So I just,
Yeah,
and I
like,
can
I
only
hate-
say this because I
I
come from,
know.
I was like king fundamentalist. So like, I know I've worked in the church. I've seen every.
You're probably
angle.
more triggered by them than we are. Like you
Yeah,
sound like
yeah.
a whole other
Because
level.
you yeah,
it's
I
horrible.
would actually probably feel the exact same way.
Well,
I think
it-
because we didn't grow up
Yeah.
in a fundamentalist circle, like we can kind of see it from the outside a bit. Helps a little bit.
Yeah, it's really, and again, the male chauvinist kind of angle. It's probably why, because again, I'm a dude. I don't mind being
Yeah,
a
I
dude.
feel like I didn't get any of the like gender within like my own upbringing. Like it was never a thing that gender would inform your roles at all. So
Oh yeah, I had
Yeah,
someone
so I'm
reach
really
out to
lucky.
me about 6 months ago that used to go to our church, and she's an amazing musician, amazing. And when I got kicked out of the church, she was the obvious pick to lead music, and they had to have a whole meeting come together because she's a woman, so she's not allowed to have any position of authority in the church.
God.
Yeah.
that's so gross.
They also got together and prayed that my band would fail, so it was pretty fun.
And did it?
Yeah, actually, we
Prayers
really,
work,
really
guys.
big.
Prayers work.
Yeah.
Amen. Yeah. Yeah,
Praise the
yeah.
Lord.
Yeah,
we should go to the
owe-
Ashbury revival and tell them all about it.
Oh, is that the thing
Yeah.
that's happening right now?
Oh fuck! Have you guys seen that on
Have
TikTok?
you not
Yeah.
seen that? It's all over my TikTok.
Oh
Yeah.
my god! Because our
There's
fucking
people
TikTok algorithms-
flying from Canada to there.
And like,
They're like-
I kind of again, people aiming at good, but like, what if you spent all that money feeding some homeless people? Around,
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm. Or instead
Yeah.
of doing a $20 million Super Bowl commercial, we actually do some good with some money.
Dude,
I get it. Like,
Yeah, but it's the government's taxing us, as Kirk Cameron says in that most recent TikTok.
oh my god.
Dude, I was so happy when you didn't know the atheist dilemma, because as you were bringing it up on the podcast, on your guys' podcast, do you remember
Which
that,
one was
like
that?
the atheist dilemma, and he holds
Oh,
the
yeah, the
banana?
banana.
Oh, the banana
Yes.
man. Oh, the banana man. Yeah, I did not have no idea. Yeah, everyone go watch the banana man, the atheist dilemma. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Did that bring you back, like?
Like straight to the Mexico Mission Strip, 97. You know what I'm saying? I was there.
Oh my
I
god.
was there.
It's so good.
It's a big, big house. I was like hearing, old audio adrenaline cuts. Oh, you guys might not even know that band.
We don't.
I know who
well,
Audio Adrenaline is.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't
Yeah, that was like their
Sarah.
first hit way back in the day.
Yeah.
See, I'm 10 years older than you guys, so I had a
Yes.
different
Our pop
youth group
culture references might not always align.
You're an
Whatever.
elder
We got Tommy
millennial.
C. I don't know what you're talking about.
You
and I,
what?
we got Tommy C.
Oh, we got Tommy
Yeah,
C.
yeah, we're
we'll
golden.
always have Tommy
We
C.
still got Days of Thunder. We haven't even talked about Cocktail.
I have no idea. Like, I've never seen. Okay, so I haven't seen a lot of Tom Cruise's older stuff because, again, like we are like straight millennials. Like we were born in 1990, so like
What
his older
music
stuff I
was-
haven't seen.
What music did you guys listen to then, growing up?
Like
Like,
growing up,
Christian
Backstreet
wise?
Boys.
Bastard
Oh,
Boys,
Christian
Spice
wise.
Girls,
Or,
and then
yeah,
Christian
Spice
wise
Girls
are Spice Girls, Britney Spears.
Oh, Christian wise,
Um,
like Jars of Clay, Newsboys.
Well, Switchfoot for me.
Switchfoot,
Switchfoot.
Reliant K,
Like,
Sanctus
Switchfoot
Real.
was- I still
Sanctus
have a
Real.
Switchfoot poster
Yeah.
at my parents' house on my closet door.
Oh, that's funny.
I'll take a picture someday when I go visit them.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I love
Casting
Switchfoot.
Crowns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
all
Toby
the-
Mac too because I liked rap. And so I was like,
All
Christian
men.
rap, good. Because I felt kind of bad about listening to Eminem all the time. So I was like, let's just even
Oh,
it
man.
out a bit.
But he spits fire.
Lecrae.
I fucking love Eminem.
Lecrae.
They're great.
Yeah.
I remember that bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to go, guys.
Yeah, well,
It's
this
been
is
2
you guys have
hours.
this is
Yeah, I have to
I'm
go
just
soon, too.
I will ramble with you as long as you want. This is so exciting.
Did
No,
you
it's-
get to
it's like
any of your
10:30 here.
questions?
Yeah, I'm so
I
sorry.
asked one and we kind of got halfway through it. Yeah, but no, it's so funny because I do
fuck.
kind of I like a more casual conversation though because like for me it's talk therapy through a lot of these religious ideas
Yeah.
because
Yes.
so many of them are not on the table for people to even discuss, and so like
Yeah.
but I
We love
love
it.
your guys' podcast and I can't wait to listen to every new episode. So thank you guys so much
Yay.
for coming
Thank
on.
you. This is
Yeah.
Oh my
so
god,
much
thank you
fun.
so much.
Thank you, and let me
Yeah.
know whenever schedule because I know you guys are on the East Coast. I can make it work.
Yeah. for
I'm
sure.
I'm in PST. I'm in your time zone. I'm
Oh,
on West
okay.
Coast. Sarah and
Yeah,
I live
I'm
on
East
opposite
Coast.
sides of the country.
Yeah, we're 4
Yeah.
time
we're
zones apart.
We're very far away from each other.
Yeah.
As
Very
far as
far.
you can basically get in Canada, that's where we are.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
It's crazy.
Atlantic
Almost-
and
And Pacific.
Ocean.
Yeah, we're just like literally both on the ocean. It's crazy. So,
Yeah.
yes, we would
doing
love
the
to have
Lord's
you on.
work,
And,
coast to coast.
yeah.
Coast to coast. Yeah.
We're-
All right. Well, thank you
Yeah,
guys so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm so tired now. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.